Recording in progress.
If you have a question, you go ahead and unmute.
Hey, Jaden, this is Glenn here with LSU Country. I mean, it's been 350 days since you guys played a baseball game and, against an opponent. I mean, just talk about what it's like to be out there and then just, talk about your own experience today and being a starter really for the first time in 2 years.
Man, it was exciting. Everyone was so excited to get back out there. It was great when pulling up to the stadium, you see all the fans lining up, kids with jerseys on, just that baseball atmosphere. So it was just great to be back in the box, man. It's a feeling like no other. And, I mean, we have the best fans in the country. And so being able to play in front of those guys, is special. And so it was great being back out there.
Jaden, Wilson here from The Advocate. How do you think you pitched today?
I think I did good. I was able to give my team 4 innings, able to pass it to the next guy. That's my job, is just to give as many innings as possible and get as many outs as possible to help the guys in the pen.
Yeah, follow up if I could real quick. Paul said going into this week that you were only going to pitch 3 innings. You ended up going 4. Were you wanting to get back out there for a 4th inning? How did that decision get made?
Yeah, for sure. As I was walking off the field, I went straight up to coach. I told him, I said, I want to go another inning. I have another one in me. And so he looked at me and said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm ready to go." And so, I'm thankful that he gave me another inning and he has a trust in me to go out there and compete.
Hey, Jaden, Jared Broughton with the Reveille here. You looked like you were just really in control of what you wanted to do today. How did you feel like mixing up your pitches? Was that something you've been working on over the offseason? Just how in control did you feel?
Yeah, it is, but it was honestly, I have a lot of work to do. It was something I didn't do consistently. I would say I didn't have my slider and my off-speed stuff as consistent as I wanted. I had it in certain big moments, but I didn't have it to where I needed it. Mainly, I really just had a fastball today, to be honest. And so I definitely need to go in with Coach AD, watch film, get back on the field in 2 days and get back to work.
Hey, Dayton, this is William with Tiger Rag. It did show like at times that you were go to your out pitch. You did show like you had some off speed type stuff to get that third strike. Did you talk about in some situations you did find some things off speed type stuff?
I did. There was just certain counts that I had to have it. As a starting pitcher, you need to have 3 pitches, and so no matter however you're feeling, you got to dig deep and give what you got. And so I didn't have ultimate feel of it, but I was able to get guys out. And I mean, if you can get guys out, that's the job.
Everyone good? Okay, thank you, Jaden. Whenever you're ready, if you can just unmute yourself and ask a question. Just a reminder to mute yourself after you've asked your question.
Hey, Trey, this is Glenn with LSU Country here. I mean, first start at first base, first performance as a freshman, you really look unfazed. You make that play over by the dugout. You get a couple hits. I mean, just kind of talk about your performance today and just kind of how comfortable you felt out there.
The older guys really helped me today get comfortable because they saw me in IO and warming up. I looked a little nervous. I felt a little nervous. They told me if I just go out there and play,
I didn't hear that much.
Anything else for Trey?
Yeah, sorry, we're having some, technical difficulties up here. Can y'all hear us okay?
Yep. Okay.
Hey, Trey, I mean, what was it like? I mean, you haven't played in Alex Box before, but even with the reduced capacity crowd and everything, what was it like for you to get out here and for y'all just to play a baseball game after so long, since last season?
Man, when we went to take IO in front of the fans, usually when we took IO in the preseason, there was nobody there. So when I stepped on the field to take IO and saw the people in the stands, got a little feeling in my stomach. I was a little nervous, but after the first play, first ground ball to third base, came across the dime and I felt comfortable.
Hey, Trey, Jared Brotman here with the Reveille. Um, you guys at the plate, you had some opportunities there, and you were one of the people who really showed up there and made the big hit when it mattered. What were you guys kind of just going through in the dugout when you had those opportunities? What was the message there?
I mean, in batting practice with Coach Eddie, we focus on 2-out hits, hitting in the clutch, hitting with a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So I just tried to stick to my plan. I went up there and drove the ball the other way.
And Trey, I mean, it started with Jaden, ended with Devin. Y'all's pitching staff was just lights out today, other than that 1 second there in the eighth inning when they gave up a run. What was it like just watching them work today?
Man, they really made our job easy. I feel like I only had to catch maybe one ball at first base. They just weren't really hitting them hard at all. We really just had to worry about our offense today. They were just putting on a show.
Do you think that having that, as y'all have such an unproven kind of lineup here with a lot of guys like yourself who are just really young, and do you think it helps to have a pitching staff who can kind of do that on a consistent basis as y'all get into the early part of the season and kind of get your feet wet and get comfortable?
Oh, definitely. I mean, having them go out there week in and week out and do that, I mean, that's going to make our job much easier. Having to score maybe 5 or 6 runs to win a game every weekend.
Trey, you guys manufactured runs in a lot of different creative ways today. And you had some sac fly. Zach Arnold hit a home run. You had your RBI single. Talk about how important it is for you guys to be able to create runs in diverse ways.
We really got to go up there and do the job that's asked of us at that time. We can't go up there and be selfish and look for, our pitch, especially with the runner on third, less than 2 outs. We got to hit what he gives us to get that run home. Not being too selective, just getting the job done.
We'll wrap up and we'll get Zach in here, guys. Thank you. Here.
Zach, hey, it's Wilson from The Advocate. Take us for starters there through that home run in the eighth. What kind of pitch did you see, and did you know it was out as soon as it left the bat?
Yeah, it was just a curveball. All I was trying to do there was battle and just try and get a hit for my team. And I was lucky enough to get a good pitch and just saw it well, and that ended up happening. So we're just super stoked to help the team.
I can ask another here. You barely had a freshman season, and then y'all had this incredibly long layoff like we've talked about a few times. So to get actually out here and play a baseball game in front of a crowd, even though it was reduced capacity, what did it feel like just to have that again?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, all of us are so excited to get this thing rolling, and to have these fans in the stands means the world to us. It was we weren't sure what we were going to have, how many fans and everything, but it's just great to be out there again with my brothers and with the fans in the stands, and it was just everything we expected and more. It was great.
Hey, Zach, Jared Brotman with the Reveille here. You guys tallied 11 walks today. Talk about just the patient approach that you guys had at the plate and just being selective. Yeah,
we're always working on getting our pitch, and not straying away from that, not chasing, not giving what the pitcher takes us. We're just out there looking for our pitch, and when we don't get it, we gotta spit on it and take what the game gives us.
Zach, what was it like watching Jaden Hill operate today? Even though he said he didn't have his best stuff, really only pitched with a fastball, I guess 4 scoreless in his first start in like 2 years.
Yeah, every time you watch that guy pitch, it's just something special. He's got all the stuff. His fastball, obviously, he's got the breaking ball, got the changeup, and it's really just it's awesome to watch him pitch and compete every day. And I'm looking forward to watching him the rest of the season. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, Zach, Coach Mainieri said earlier this week that it would be you or Drew Bianco playing at shortstop today. How early did you know that it was going to be you out there today? Did he tell you like this morning or something like that?
I found out yesterday. I knew yesterday.
We're good, guys? Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're going to try to figure this all out here, this system. Thanks for waiting for me.
Ready to start? You all ready to go?
So, Paul, before we even get to the game part of it, you went through such a long offseason to finally actually be in the stadium after everything that you went through this past week, have a game in front of fans, have your family there. What was it like for you just emotionally in that way when you're watching batting practice with your son and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's amazing that you noticed that. Thank you. Yeah, it's been so long. I mean, it's been almost 350 days or something like that since we've been on the field. Actually, yesterday when the Air Force Academy was here practicing on our field, it kind of hit me that day because it was the first time another university or another institution had their baseball team on our field since March 11th of last year. So just to see a different uniform on the field was kind of a moving moment for me. And then today, to have some people in the stands. I know it would have been wonderful to have 12,000 people here today. And, but the ones that were here, just having them in the stands, seeing my family over there behind my left shoulder and just kind of getting back to some normalcy in the world was really great. And I was very appreciative that we've gotten to this point. It's been a long journey. It's been hard for a lot of people. And just to be able to be out there again was a very moving experience for me and something I'll always remember.
Hey, Coach, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick with KLB in Alexandria. How pleased were you with the play of Garrett Edwards and also Matthew Beck coming in relief?
Well, our whole pitching staff, Jamarcus was the story of today's game. Of course, Jaden Hill was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was a great start for him. I only wanted to have him go 3 innings. He was only at 44 pitches, and he was begging me for another inning. And we wanted to try to get him extended anyway, and I'm glad we let him go out there for the 4th inning. And, he got through the 4th, and I think it was a really good outing for him. And then the plan was for Garrett Edwards to be the first guy out of the pen and throw an inning. Garrett's been a very impressive guy from the time we started in fall practice, and I think he's got a chance to really be special in his career here and help us this year. And there's a good chance he's going to be starting next, in the middle of the week against UL. So I wanted to kind of get him his first outing out there to kind of break the ice for him so that, get rid of some of those nerves so he could get himself properly ready to pitch on Wednesday over in Lafayette. I thought Garrett was great. And then, Matthew the plan was not really to have Matthew come into the game, Beck to come into the game today. And he told Alan Dunn before the game that this was the best he has felt in about 5 or 6 weeks, just physically and confidently and so forth. And when he threw before the game, just out in the outfield. And so I kind of adjusted the plans and decided to go with Matt Beck instead. And I thought he was just tremendous. He had one breaking ball, got away from, hit the runner. But the reason I took him out of the game was not because he wasn't doing well. I just wanted to keep his pitch count down so that he would be available on Monday again. And I thought Alex Brady, I wanted to get him in there right away. And I thought he did a tremendous job as well. The whole bullpen was fantastic. We really should have pitched a shutout. We had a couple misplays behind the plate there that allowed a runner to get into scoring position and then score on a pass ball. So we should have had a shutout really for the way those guys pitched. And I'm really proud of all of them. I thought they did a great job, but I'm not surprised at all that Garrett Edwards and Matthew Beck pitched as well as they did. Matthew's had a great career, and Garrett's at the beginning of what I think is going to be a great career.
Hey, Paul, it's Glenn here with LSU Country. I mean, you just, obviously, really the start of the game was kind of struggling on offense, just kind of getting guys in. But really over the final, 4 or 5 innings there, you really were able to capitalize with runners in scoring position and things like that. I mean, just kind of talk about how the offense developed a little bit as the game went on.
Yeah, well, in the first couple innings, Glenn, I thought we hit some balls hard. Giovanni really tattooed that ball to the shortstop, and he made a really nice play there with the bases loaded and 2 outs after Will Helmers had struck out. And I thought Dylan, the first batter of the game, hit a ball hard back up the middle, and their pitcher made a nice play. And I thought Zach Arnold smashed one, but it was right at the shortstop, and their shortstop's a nice player. So, we were hitting the ball hard, not having a lot to show for it early. Their pitcher was kind of wild and, gave us what we got. And then, it was a little disappointing because we had some opportunities there to kind of break the game open, and we just, didn't have quality at bats. And we're going to need to. If we want to be competitive and compete for a championship in this conference, we're going to have to do better than that. And the guys know that. That's why I'm a little bit late to this press conference. I had a little meeting with them, guys have to rise up, and, you're not going to get a hit every time. It's impossible to. And when you hit the ball hard, sometimes it's right at people, like I described those other 3 at bats. But you got to have good at bats. You got to put the ball in play. You can't miss your pitch when you get it. I know how hard they've worked. I know how hard Eddie Smith has worked with them. And you want to see them have immediate success. But it was just the first game of the year, and everybody had a few nerves. There's no question about that. I think we'll be better tomorrow. I really, really expect that we will.
Hey, Coach, Jared here. Tre and Dylan had really good debuts today. Could you just talk about their performance and what they did well and what you'd like to see them improve on as well?
Yeah, well, I thought that both of them played extremely well. Not only did they swing the bats well, but that catch that Tre Morgan made over by the dugout where he reached in for the pop-up, that was a major league play. There's something about Tre Morgan. I just think when the lights go on, this kid's going to be at his very best. He hasn't really performed all that great in the preseason leading up to today. And today, Eddie Smith came to me, much like Alan Dunn said to me about Matthew Beck, as I was talking about earlier. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. Eddie Smith came up to me and he said, and just kind of whispered in my ear before the game, Tre Morgan's back. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, his early work in the batting cages today was fantastic. His bat speed, everything was good. His intensity is there. And we just were not surprised at all that Tre went out there today and played as well as he did, with hitting wise, defensively, and so forth. The bright lights have come on. The season has begun, and how this kid's going to take it to another level and be a really good ball player for us. And we all knew that Dylan Cruz had the talent, and he got a couple of hits today. I think he drew a walk as well on a full count pitch. And, the more at bats these guys get, the better they're going to be. And I think we've got 2 winners in those guys. There's no question about that. Did Mike Cobble have a question? I saw
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just curious if because of the limited amount of time on the field this week, that you would kind of give the guys a little bit more leeway and let them, figure it out as they go, or is that gut, gonna make you make some moves, even early in the season?
You talking about position players making moves?
Yeah, just see what you got out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, the plan has always been to play Drew Bianco the second game at shortstop. So even though Zach Arnold hit a home run today, Drew's going to be in there tomorrow, and we're going to just kind of decide as we go forward how we're going to play that shortstop situation out. And I'm not going to panic because, a couple guys didn't swing the bat good today. The first game of the season is always a very unique feeling for a player. It's exciting. Everybody's looking forward to the year. But what you do in your first 2 or 3 at bats of the season are not going to necessarily dictate the kind of season you're going to have individually. And I know that because the first game, I should say, is always, it's just different. It's different. I'm always happy. I'm excited about the first day of the season, but I'm always glad when it's over as well. And now we can kind of settle into the season and guys can relax and play the game the way that they know how. And, a couple guys didn't swing good today, like Will Helmers and Gavin Dugas, but those guys, they've shown me that they can hit and they're good hitters. And I would expect that tomorrow that those guys will come out and really put up some good at bats. And, nobody's going to hit the panic button after one ball game. I can be sure of that.
Tell you what, you definitely made the right call moving that game to today after last night.
Oh, you mean how cold it was last night? Is that what he meant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy cold.
Yeah, I know it. Today was a beautiful day. I see myself in this computer. I didn't realize my face was so red. I don't know why it got that way. I was over in the coldest part of the stadium in that first base dugout the whole day.
Everyone good? Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
All right, guys.
The recording.
Thank y'all. Thanks, Brandon.